What's up, guys? Scott Dasher here, and I wanted to do a deck profile for the deck that I ran at the Retro event at Gencon 2015. I went 8-0 and won the event. It was really fun, even though this deck isn't really groundbreaking or anything too crazy. It's pretty straightforward and standard, but it was a deck that I ran 10 years ago, and I still run it today. I liked it a lot, obviously, because it wins and it's really good. I have it all foiled out because it's sexy like that, and I just wanted to share it with you because people were asking for the list. And any comments or questions, please write them in the comment section, and I'll try to get back to them. And here we go. So I run 1 through 3 triple victory Brawly, that Broken Mastery. You already know what it does, and North Kai Sensei. I'll start with defense. 3 Saiyan stop, pretty standard. Gain stages, Omni block, Saiyan brace, Omni block again. Searches for truce card. I mostly run it because it gains anger and can't be sphered. So that's another thing. I can also shuffle my deck if I need Dragon Ball to Dragon Ball victory. So that's pretty cool. Pycon's leg catch staple ×3 stops physicals and shuffles in and helps me push through for the last turns of the game. Energy Ricochet, same thing, has endurance 3. Last year at Gencon, I didn't make top cut, and a lot of that was because of lack of defense or running certain defense cards that weren't that good or as good in this deck. So I needed to cut it and figure out what to do. And Energy Ricochet has the endurance and staying power in this format, where you can stop an energy, banish cards from North Kai Sensei to then shuffle back into my deck and keep reusing it. It gains anger 2, and it lowers my opponent's anger 1, which is crucial. Kogu's Flight, Omni block just to raise anger. I only need 2, just like Brawly's Supreme Power, another Omni block. And then these long-term defenses right here. So Super Saiyan Effect, staple. Everyone runs that card. Broken. Time, also kind of a staple. Got to run that in every deck. But these two, I added in this year because I was sick of running, the long-term defenses that can be stopped by Gohan's Kick, because I do run Gohan's Kick, of course, and beatdown decks can sometimes smash this build. So I figured 2 things. I didn't want to run them anymore because, first of all, they're not Saiyan styled. So I cut Nappa's, Energy Aura and Vegeta's Physical Stance, or whatever those cards are, the long-term defenses, and I put these in because they're Saiyan and they can be searched with Brawly level 2. But also, these bypass Gohan's Kick. These 3 do. Okay? This card's amazing against energy beatdown decks, because you can draw, infinite cards with the Mastery and then pitch them to stop energies. And this card's just really good against physical beatdown decks that aren't higher than you when you're at level 2 or level 3, so that's pretty cool. And this worked out pretty well for defenses. I ran the perfect amount of defense, I believe, so it was really good this year and it worked really well. Next, Victorious Drill. I run that. It's pretty much in every deck, sort of, even beatdown decks. I mean, I run it so it can stop anger in the early game, and it gives me stages, and it filters my deck out. Why not? I run it. It's really good. 3 Sidedian Turmoils. I don't run non-combats in this deck other than Victorious Drill. So this worked really well. Of course, shuts down my opponent's non-combats, so I can do what I have to do. I usually draw it at the right time, and it's really good. Before I get to attacks and anything like that, I just want to show you that I have all 7 Dragon Balls, or a Dragon Ball set. These are just the alt arts for the most part, so they do the same thing that the Earth Dragon Balls and Saiyan Saga do. The only difference is I run this 3-ball from the believe the Fusion Saga subset. I run this one because last year, or in years past, I would get my ass beat by beatdown decks, other beatdown decks, and this card is broken. I believe, because it draws 2, and that's great and all, but the effect that you can use endurance on your style card and your opponent can't capture Dragon Balls unless you do a certain amount of damage, that helps a lot against other beatdown decks. So this is definitely the right choice for me, and I'm glad I put it in this year, and I'm going to keep it in because I'd rather you have the extra effect and draw 2 cards and just draw 3 and rejuvenate 1 with the other 3 balls. So this worked out really well this year for me. Utility cards, 3 stare down, staple. Really good. Saiyan Truce card, broken. Got to run that in Saiyan. And I run 2 spheres. And I was considering that for quite some time, 2 or 3 spheres. For the longest time, I was running 3 spheres, but I cut it down to 2 because I run Brawly's Might. I run 4 of those, as you're going to see. And I hated, you know, either drawing into this when I didn't need to, and the fact that it's not Saiyan. I try to make sure that the Saiyan count in this deck was enough that it could trigger the mastery to draw 2 for the most part, almost always. And 2 is enough. 2 is good enough for this year, and I'm going to keep it like this forever now. 2 spheres is good enough in Brawly. Attacks. 3 Hercules Amazing Techniques. Kind of a staple in this format, in a format where you can run anything in your Sensei deck, pretty much. As you're going to see what I run on my Sensei deck, I definitely need to run 3 of these because it can do so much. It can, you know, it's like a utility card that you can use at any time to use any card that you need for any given time. And it's worked out really well for me. So I think most beatdown decks in this format have to run 3 of these, 2 or 3 of these, just because it can pick things at the moment, whenever you need it, and it adapts to the situation, and it's just really good. 3 Gohan's Kick, standard. You already know you got to run that if you're running beatdown. 3 Oops Crushing Dive. I run this because of endurance, because I need endurance in this deck, and also because it does so much for one card if you just read it. You know, raises anger, lowers anger, discards an ally, which is crucial in this format, in a format where ally decks can really do some damage against especially beatdown decks. This card worked really well for me. It gains stages as well, so it kind of replaces almost like a physical block. I can take physical damage and then gain 3 stages. This rejuves itself. It just does so much. So I ran this 10 years ago and I still run it today. It's a really good card. Now for like some Saiyan Solid attacks, Saiyan Destiny, got to run that. You know, I run 3 because early game when I'm at Brawly level 1, I want to have as many attacks as possible so I can anger to level 2. Got to have that. Dash and Kick, same thing. Does a shit ton of damage and raises anger. Energy Bullet, I wasn't running this years ago, but now I run it because, to tell you the truth, I got scared of Janemba, if you know what that does. I mean, it's been nerfed since then by the retro community, but I was afraid of Prevention. I'm also afraid of the Blue Mastery from, I believe, Buu Saga that prevents. That Mastery hurts this deck a lot, so this card bypasses that, and it also bypasses a lot of, you know, recursion type decks, and just, this card's amazing. I don't know why I wasn't running this before. This energy can do 8 life if you empower it, and it also gains the anger because the anger is before the empower. And the secondary effect is just broken. You know, no endurance and all damage is banished. So, I would have to say that you have to run this card if you're running Saiyan because it's so fucking amazing. And it worked out really well for me at Gencon. 3 Power Beams, standard, shuts off drills, mastery, excellent to enter on, really good. 3 Saiyan Strength Blast, drill tech, really good. I used to have this on my sideboard, then I said, screw it, I'm going to main deck 3 of these because I'm afraid of Freestyle Mastery. I'm afraid of the Orange Majin Buu Saga Mastery. Drills are broken in this format, in this game, in this, you know, the old game. So, you know, killing 3 of them is just so crucial, especially if, you know, you're facing a Dragon Ball deck and you can North Kai on them and enter, use this, get rid of the Goku's Capturing Drills. It's just a really good card. Keyball, same thing. I want to get rid of allies. I hate allies on the board to absorb damage. This card helps a lot against Bojack and other ally decks throwing Spirit Bomb and so forth. Again, you can empower it if you have to. It does a lot of damage. It's just a really good card overall. 3 Boost Fury. I would say if you're a beatdown deck, you have to run this card in synergy with Gohan's Kick. Boost Fury is really good. Prevents them from doing anything scary. It's really good. Kid Boo's Prep Crash. I love this card. Focus Energy. Banishes the discard pile that I don't like. You know, it's excellent against the Blue Mastery from Majin Buu Saga, the Orange Mastery from Majin Buu Saga. They can't recur stuff. You know, clear their discard pile. Have one combat where you know, Truce card them, or you can search out Truce card with level 2. Truce card them. Then you're invited them, you know, do a lot of damage, and at the end of all that damage, you prep crash the discard pile so they can't recur. It's just really good, and it's a focused attack. And of course, standard for Brawly, 4 Saiyan Brawly Smashes, that's non-combat tech, and endurance, which is crucial. 4 Brawly's Might, you gotta run that. Broken card, so overpowered, not even funny. Won me so many games, shut off their non-combats, or sorry, shut off their combat cards, and just goes from there, and you can just go off. If they don't have long-term defense in their hand, that is like, you know, an energy aura or anything like that. But usually they don't. They did it in my case, but yeah, this card's really good. And 2 Saiyan Beef. I run 2 Saiyan Beef because I can search it with level 2, and I didn't like 3, so I cut it down to just 2, and 2 worked perfectly fine for me on that day that I played and in the past. So it's a really good card. It helps a lot against Namekian that powers up the full and stuff and keep them locked at 0 stages. And I teched in a Trunks makes himself clear because it gains 2 anger. And this card's amazing. It has anger tech built in. And it's just really good at level 1 Brawly. You energy for 3 anger and you go from there. It's just a really good card. It's done a lot of good for me. And now to finish off, I'm going to go to Sideboard just quickly here. Go through the list. Let's see what we got here. You're Invited, staple card. Even if you're not running a beatdown deck, it's just a really good, it's a swag card you just, put into play, and it can help you, win the game whenever you have to. This combo's excellent with Saiyan Truce card. So you enter, you Truce card on them. It's their turn, you make them enter, you draw a gigantic hand with the Mastery, and then your turn, you keep your hand again, you draw 3, and you just go off from there. I also run staple, Dragon Ball decks, got to get rid of them. Blinding Strike. This is excellent with Hercules and Techniques. If I know they don't have energy defense in their hand, after I stare on their hand, I hat for this and just use this to name off their cards that could hurt me, or it's also a huge energy. Setup Strike was tech against anger decks because this deck has trouble against red anger or any type of deck that tries to MPV me. Again, I can side this in or hat for it. It's a really good card. It helped a lot last year, but this year I luckily didn't face any red anger decks. But if I do, I can take them out with this. Gut Kick. Again, this is why hat is so good in synergy with this card and the Sideboard. If I know they don't have defense in their hand, I can use this, get a Dragon Ball, like 5-ball, 3-ball, draw more cards, beat them down quicker. Training Jump Kick moves, card's amazing and so sexy foiled. Helps a lot against decks that I don't want to stay at level 1. Like there's a Retro Garlic level 1 that's just like broken. It locks out physical damage for the most part. A lot of it. Trunks level 1, the broken one that caps energies at 2. I can knock them off that to get to level 2. I don't like Roshi either. This helps against Roshi. You can knock them off that level 1. Kind of a staple card. Training Position. I don't put this on my main board because I don't need it. If I know that they can anger out on me, I'll side it in. And this is a staple card in my opinion. Energy Burst, one of, just for more drill tech. And I also have this in there mostly because if I draw into this and I face a deck that runs drills that I maybe didn't know runs drills, I can, in the moment use this to get this, and it's really good. Drill deck tech, if I know they're running Freestyle Mastery, Orange Mastery, anything like that, even Blue Mastery, I'll side this in. This is really techy right here. 2 Captain can use energy attacks. If I know they're running 1 through 3, because in Dragon Ball Z, in this format, they have to show you their MP stack, and if they're only running 1 through 3, and I'm running 1 through 3, I'm siding these in against them to anger out on them before they anger out on me. And this, I sided in against Bojack, Brawly mirror matches, Baba, anything that runs 1 through 3, and this card is an amazing tech choice, and it's worked really well for me. And I think this is it. Let me see. Yeah, this is it. 2 Self's Presence. Again, I do not like ally decks. Cell. Literally Cell, the deck. Any deck running Cell that runs Cell Junior Allies is really scary for me, so I side these in against Bojack, and it just, helps a lot. They have to keep a sphere in their hand, or if I combo with, enter combat with Brawly's Might, they lock them out of their combat cards, then I use this, wipes the board. It's just really good overall. And so, this is the deck. If you have any questions about my matchups or anything like that, you can ask in the comment section, but overall, I love this deck. So sexy, all foiled. And I just want to say that I think I was the only one at Gencon 2015 that was running Brawly Saiyan. I know I didn't invent this deck. I know that it's nothing special. It's pretty much a very standard type of build with some techie choices. But all my opponents at Gencon were really awesome and had amazing decks. And like I saw Blue Trunks, Goku's Farewell type deck where it goes to level 5 and then beat you down with Goku's Berserk. I saw Bojack Black, Dave Fashbiner, amazing deck, amazing player. Goku Freestyle Dragon Ball, Roshi Blue Dragon Ball, some crazy stuff there, and it was really fun. And hopefully this format lasts a little bit longer so I can use this a little bit longer because it's just all shiny. But other than that, let me know how or what you think about the deck, and I'll see you in my next video.